Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cow Daily, your daily look at the dystopia. Back again. I see people are already joining the thread. People have a black eye fetish. I'll show you in a bit. Um, so today I'm going to do as much as I possibly can. It's took us quite a while longer to actually prepare today's show. For people who don't know, I had a bike crash last week. Um, where I literally face planted, but that's one of several injuries that I've got right now. So yeah, I'll be getting through this and I'll be going straight back to bed. But we turn up for Cow Daily. As you can see, we turn up. Let us know you're about in the comments. That would be really, really appreciated. Good people. But in the time honored tradition, if you want to support our work, go to patreon.com/cow daily. That's patreon.com/cow daily. Also, you can make a one-off contribution to our work via PayPal. Link in the description for that. Cheers, my friends. Also, if you're watching this anywhere other than YouTube, please watch it on youtube.com/cow daily. We're trying to get the channel monetized and one final stretch, so it'll be extra helpful if you could do it just now. So if you could switch to youtube.com/cow daily. And indeed, watch any of the videos that are there. There's a whole host of work there for your pleasure. Yeah. It hurts to talk, which is kind of hard considering like this one of the things that I do is talking. So I'm gonna do is I've adapted the show, so I'm doing less talking today, but I'm doing talking previously. You'll see what I mean later on. But it's heavy business. Also, if you're watching this live, please share the stream, my friends, and help us reach new people. That will be very much appreciated. See who's in the comments, shall we? Kirsty Smith in the house. Hiya. Gary Sullivan. Very quickly, can you say what software you used to stream from? Is it StreamYard, Restream? It's StreamYard, Gary. I find it the most user-friendly, particularly if you haven't got an existing skill set, like I didn't around the editing side. I can talk all day, but I find it very hard, or did find it very hard, where StreamYard's user-friendly for the most part. Bob Grady, I hope you're better soon, but at least you're not rocking the panda look. You haven't seen yet, man, Bob. I'm hiding this very well. Right. Hi, Mike. You don't look too bad. I hope you're feeling a bit better now, not in so much pain. Just heard you say it hurts to talk. Sorry about that. Yeah, it does. Anyway, no worries, Gary. No problem for the info. This is what I look like. Hold on, I'll take my glasses off. So I can't even see myself here, but as you can see, I've a cut above the eye, cut below the eye, and it's all yellowed up and whatever. But fortunately, I had a fight some years ago and had a fractured cheekbone from that, and it's the same cheekbone and it hasn't fractured. And we reckon possibly because it knits stronger, it knits better. So that's cool. Hold on a minute. I shall show you some things. Oh, hold on a minute. Where the fuck is that gone? Oh, great. Right. Hold on a minute. I'll just add these slides to the thing. This is the problem. I banged my head, right? And we don't think it's too bad a concussion, but bear in mind this happened 3 days ago. So like I'm gonna be a bit blip blip blip, I think, for at least a week, and then I'll be fine. I've had concussions before. I've also had cushions as well. There's a case in point. I've had cushions before, several of them, and I could have done with it when my face slapped into the road. That would have been really bloody helpful. I did have pictures to show you, and I clearly haven't put them in the thing, which is utterly fantastic crack from me. But there you go. That's an indicative of the actual state that I was in. I'll show you them tomorrow or something. Anyway, thank you very much for helping us get to 2,000 YouTube subscribers. It's really appreciated. And I know from doing my research and whatever, the first 10,000 is apparently harder than getting from 10 to 100,000, which is one of the main goals. So there you go. thank you so much for it as well. I mean, it's been a lot of hard work just to get it to this stage, especially in the closing lap towards monetization as well. So thanks so much. There you go. Cow Daily doing the do. Also as well, for I don't know what this means, but we've been added to long running shows on, I think that's Apple. Yeah, it's Apple Podcasts alongside the NBC Nightly News, which there you go. I just thought I'd let you know from a channel update perspective. We're dancing with NBC now. Fantastic. Also, as well, first week back, we're topped out at number 14 in the chart. But most pleasing earlier that week was getting above Sarah Vine and her Daily Mail female podcast. Woke it in to apparently, well, we are Sarah, getting a spliff. We've just smoked you up this week. Get behind us. You have no business being above us in any chart. Gone to bed. But not with Michael Gove at all. You would question somebody's general judgment, but anyway, that's not for me to talk about, isn't it? So if you're just joining, here's me black eye. It's a beast. I've got a sprained wrist, and it's very hard. And if I move that way, out, this way, out, this way, got grazes all over my body. I'm not showing you them because it hurts. Everything hurts. It's all hurting right now. I was supposed to have a meeting after this for something else that I do, and I've had to put my apologies in because the only thing I'm good for today is doing the prep for this, doing the show, and then getting me arse to bed after I've walked one of the dogs, the border collie. I'm probably still half concussed, to be honest, but I did a run through earlier and it was decent. Man, I've just like winced. Sorry about that. This is going to happen throughout the show. Like, I move a certain way and it hurts, but I've got that many different injuries, right? Like all of my legs and body and everything, that it just hurts. Everything. It hurts to sit here. It hurts to lie down. It hurts to speak. It hurts not to speak. So the way I look at it is, might as well do the bloody show, eh? So what else we're going to talk about today is, if you've been watching a while, you'll know that we covered something around the Brazilian elections back in October, but we've done an ongoing thing about Steve Bannon. Ow, that hurt. Don't say Stephen and widen your face. Steve Bannon, one of the ghouls behind Trump's electoral success, and also behind, well, or at least linked to Giorgia Meloni as she assumed power in Italy, and also Bolsonaro in Brazil. For people who don't know, I'll play you a short clip and you'll get the idea pretty quickly about what has happened in Brazil. This is Bolsonaro supporters storming the capital, just like Trump's did. Check this.
Muita gente lá fora, pessoal. Muita gente lá fora, pessoal. A polícia não conseguiu conter o povo. Não conseguiu conter o povo. Quebraram as janelas, quebraram tudo, entraram dentro da casa, quebraram tudo.
There you go. There's other clips that you can find. Sorry, that hurt. Other clips that you can find online if you want to find more about storming the Capitol, and some of them are eerily similar to to what went on January the 6th at the insurrection in boys. Fucking hell, sorry, my head just went there. We'll get through this, and I promise you I'll make it as good as it can be. It's just, as I say, everything hurts to sit here right now, so I'm going to do the best that I can. I've thought on my feet, and I've already talked through some of the stuff. So this is a bit of a Mystic Cow Predicts longer special. It's a sort of 6-7 minute clip from what we did back in October. And the top bottom of it is, right, I was speaking to somebody about it, and they were saying to us, right, you predict certain things quite frequently. Why don't you talk about it? And I'm just like, I've always found it hard to like sort of big myself up. And it was like, stop it. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to keep highlighting, not just when we get it wrong, because we'll do that too, but also we're going to be consistent and highlight when we get it right as well. So if you just bear with us, this is about 6-7 minutes long. It'll give us a chance to rest my jaw. and we'll come back. But also, Mr. Cow be predicting. Ow, that really hurt. Ow. Right, we'll get this played. 2 seconds. Isn't that weird? There's me, but there's also me. Weird. I'm much better looking in the right one than the left, but I'm not that good looking anyway. Hold on a minute. Let's play, and I'll have me little break. Off we'll dance. Aye. So this from PBS NewsHour. Brazil's former president Lula da Silva asks for calm after leftist officials kill him. This was from July. So obviously leading into the election. It goes on. Da Silva's plea this week reflects growing concerns among politicians, authorities, and voters about Brazil's presidential campaign and October election. The leftist leads all polls to return to the office he held between 2003 and 2010. But far-right incumbent Jair Bolsonaro has suggested he may not accept the results while urging his allies to arm himself. There's quite a bit of analysis coming out which says that Bolsonaro, and as you can see there, some leftist leader was already killed in July, that he's warming up his mobs to not accept the result, and we've seen that, and it's the January 6th playbook. There's links between Bolsonaro, Bannon, Trump, of course, part of that international network that were touched upon when we talked about Giorgia Meloni in the far right in Italy when we did the show last week. Part of our coalition is Salvini, who is linked to Bannon too. We're going to have to do a show on this at some point because I keep referencing it and a lot of it links up. So it goes on. This is from Joanna Ramiro, UK. Check her out. Her analysis is this, and this was before the final results, but I think it's still valid now. This is starting to look bleak in as much as the election 2022 is likely to go to a second round, but also because a lot of the governors elected on first round are Bolsonaro supporters. This means that Lula might win on the second round, but that the possibility of political havoc is much higher. This is the reason why I was like WhatsApping my friend until 2 a.m. and I'm an early to bed person myself, early riser. So that was late for me. I'm doing this on about 4 or 5 hours sleep. He's, as I say, in Brazil. He's from Washington and we are. And we were legitimately talking about what his best escape route out of the country would be, because we were worried about it, a second round, and how leading into the runoff there may well be political violence. It seems to me that they're already warming the ghouls up to not accept the result should they lose. And obviously we've seen that. I mean, we saw like before the Brexit referendum in the UK, Farage said in the days leading into it that if it was a few percent here and there, he wouldn't accept the result. It's just what they do, and if they obfuscate enough, I mean, they can potentially change the result, because quite often history is written by the so-called winners there, and that's often the people who are with the guns. So a little bit of background here. This is from Brown University Education Library. The US government and the 1964 coup. This goes back to, I mean, people might not know, but like Brazil had like a fascist junta for many years. So it says in this article from the Brown Education Library, the US government in the 1964 coup. Phyllis Parker was a graduate student at the University of Texas doing research for her master's thesis when she stumbled across recently declassified documents at the Lyndon B. Johnson Library detailing US support for the Brazilian coup. She interviewed Lincoln Gordon, who ended up explaining the whole story, which she published in her book, Brazil, The Quiet Intervention. The US government and Ambassador Gordon feared a communist takeover of Brazil by Goulart, a politician at the time. Therefore, the White House and the embassy in Brazil tensely watched as the biggest country in South America veered to the left. Although Lincoln Gordon denies having any part of the coup of 1964, it's clear that he played a significant role. President Johnson immediately recognizes the military regime as legitimate. So a lot of people aren't aware of the CIA's role in Latin America, and, well, I say role, enforced fucking role, that is. I mean, we're going to do a show about this, so I'm going to keep my counsel about it. Also, it'll just be bloody funny to keep doing CIA content when we're trying to get over them in the channels. please go and give us a nice review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Good people, subscribe to the YouTube channel. How funny will it be? But we'll keep turning the screw until we're black bagged and chucked into Guantanamo Bay. Just joking. So what else do we have on this one, on potential coup? This from Le Monde. Le Monde do some good journalism, French newspaper. I looked around for this stuff on the Lavo Giotto or Operation Car Wash. So it's to bring that sort of coup-related stuff and understand that the CIA... Now, I don't know if they're having... some analysts are pointing the finger at the CIA as having involvement today in the here and now. I don't have that evidence currently, but there is evidence, legions of it, of CIA interference. We also did a bit on that in a previous show recently where we showed clips of previous CIA directors saying blatantly that they have had involvement in the democratic process in other countries. And it isn't good involvement. Anyway, from Le Monde, Lavo Giotto, the Brazilian trap. From our archives, a magistrate judged to be biased, a team of prosecutors whose methods were sometimes illegal, the intervention of the United States, and finally a resounding scandal. Lavo Giotto has served many interests, but not democracy. Months of investigation, interviews, and research were necessary for Le Monde to set the scene behind the scenes. This was from March this year, 2022. Please go and research this more for yourself. It's around how Lula was jailed, but also how he was exonerated. When he was jailed, he had a 90% approval rating in Brazil. 90%. He would have got re-elected on a landslide. So him being jailed set the scene for far-right Bolsonaro to be installed. Funny at the weekend that like fake president of Venezuela, what's he called, Gorado or something like that. Anyway, he put out a video in support of Bolsonaro, wearing some kind of like fucking Venezuela like flag jacket or something. Like we can look at the United States attempts to get him installed in power in Venezuela, which for now have failed. Oil being the common denominator. Anyway, moving on. Take some of your comments before we... Hello, we're back. I'll just get myself today back in the screen there. How are you doing? So obviously that was from October the 3rd, 2022. Obviously within that, we mentioned Bannon's playbook, January the 6th insurrection, and also a little bit of the wider historical stuff about CIA or general United States intervention within Latin America, but specifically Brazil. Going back to the 1960s, I've actually got a sound file of Lyndon B. Johnson, which was leaked. And he was basically talking about the coup, and well, I'll save the detail for that. But if anybody wants it, I'll send it. It's just long, and I couldn't actually make it. It's very grainy. I just couldn't like improve the audio on it, so it's not something I used back then or now. But it is available. I think it's Georgetown University Archive. I got it from off the top of my head. So anyway, as you can see, things have went absolutely tits up in Brazil as predicted. We figured that this would happen, and the intersections with Bannon and the things that he's been saying are really clear. So we go on. This from the New York Times. Bolsonaro has been holed up thousands of miles away in Florida. Before departing Brazil, the former president had urged his supporters to avoid violence, i.e. kind of had to. So anyway, it goes on. When his supporters stormed Brazil's Congress and presidential offices on Sunday to protest what they falsely claim was a stolen election, Jair Bolsonaro was believed to be thousands of miles away. Facing various investigations from his time in office, Mr. Bolsonaro flew to Florida in late December with plans to stay for at least a month. He's been in Orlando, living in a rented house owned by a professional mixed martial arts fighter a few miles from Disney World. If anybody wants to know who that is, it's Jose Aldo, who Conor McGregor knocked out in 13 seconds. It's hard to know who the worst person out of the two of them is. But now I'd suggest Aldo's just nudged ahead of McGregor. Like there's this weird thing in martial arts. Like, I mean, you've got like Darren Till from Liverpool, who came out and supported Bolsonaro on our Ariel Helwani show a couple of years ago. I don't get it. I don't understand it, especially a lad from Liverpool. But there you go. Neymar as well. there's chat that Bolsonaro said to him he'd write off some of his tax problems if he stood up in support of him, which is what he did. Quite a few. Oh man, sorry, cheekbone knacked there. Quite a few people within the martial arts like sort of scene do support him. Brazilian jiu-jitsu, there's this weird like far right intersection there. God knows, but I'm looking into it further, and we'll find out if there's actually a reason or like a patient zero within martial arts who wants to support the fash. But here we go. So anyway, we go on. This from the Washington Post, November the 23rd, 2022, a month after us. Trump aides Bannon, Miller advising the Bolsonaros on next steps. Some allies and advisors want the Brazilian president to contest his election loss to Lula. Others want a global fight over free speech. Now, those two things there are generally two of the battlegrounds that this sort of fake culture war is being fought on. Certainly freedom of speech. Look into the background of somebody called Toby Young in the UK who set up something called the Free Speech Union. Free speech is being used as some kind of like lightning rod. And it's about this Bannon thing about changing the meaning of words or sentences. So free speech for them is anything that they want to say. But they'll happily shut down critics like us and other people who they consider to be the left, whatever the hell that is, we don't know. And then they will like basically go, we are the fascists, we are the, it's about like sort of throwing up like a weird fairground mirror sort of thing at us, and we're the wrong uns. I mean, and I look like a bit of a wrong un with a black eye and whatever. You didn't see us the other day when I had like a blood mark over there and I properly looked like Bike Hitler. I was going to show you the pictures. Tune in tomorrow. I've just too concussed and I forgot to put them up. So, yes, we have, as I say, the aides from Bannon, Trump. They're advising these people. That's all part of this globalist, global network of nationalists. Intra-national nationalists is the best descriptor I've come up with so far. So anyway, this from Steve Bannon from one of the Google hell sites, probably Gab or something like that, or Truth Social, Trump's. What he's saying is this is whatever it is, retweeting on that website article, days before new president, old divisions tearing at Brazil, apnews.com. Bannon says, the people of Brazil will not tolerate a godless atheist Marxist like Lula to take over illegally and destroy their country. Yes, very good. Steve Bannon, probably the only person on earth who looks worse than I do right now. Steve Bannon wants to turn Brazil into the next MAGA battleground, says newrepublic.com. Well, he succeeded. From MediaMatters.org, Steve Bannon leads baseless right-wing media claims that Brazil's election was rigged. This from Ron Filipkowski. I'm sure people in Brazil are wondering how an architect of our insurrection, Steve Bannon, Filipkowski's American, can be convicted at trial, sentenced to prison, then allowed to remain out of custody to actively use his platform to attempt to instigate a coup in your country. I wish I had an answer. Just as an aside, I'm having to pinch my leg to stop from crying out in pain here, but we'll crack on. So anyway, as Philip's saying there, Ron Filipkowski's saying there, why is Bannon still out on the out? I mean, there's credible evidence linking him to the insurrection on January the 6th. All I can think is that whoever's trying to put these people away are worried about what these armed militias might do if he is put away. Have you ever listened to Steve Bannon's podcast, The War Room? It's some of the stuff he's saying is absolutely wild. And if anybody else was saying it, you'd expect them to be put in the nick. But the best guess I've come up with is that they're worried about what the response might be when they start jailing figures like Bannon. And Bannon knows this. And Bannon's playing a game. And part of the ultimate end goal, I think, is to like have a form of like libertarian fascism where their leaders are like branch managers in each country. I think that's like, I think that's like part of the playbook. Like whichever faction throughout history have been part of. People try and consolidate power. I think with Bannon, he's doing it so brazenly and so openly via the war room. It's worth a listen, to be honest. Sometimes I stick it on when I'm going to sleep and listen to it just to see what people are talking about. And it comes back to this thing that I say all the time. Do not in your life think you can deplatform anybody these days, because they'll always find a platform that'll take them. And certainly certainly given the fact that Bannon has developed this cult-like following, as has the whole fucking MAGA thing is totally cult-like. And yet they'll say the left is a cult and whatever. So anyway, we'll go on. What else do we have for you? No, I think that's it. I've got through 25 minutes of this. I'm going to get a nice pack on my face and on my wrist and on my knee. But we got it done. I'll take some comments from you good people and we'll go from there. What is he saying here? Sort your mic out. What is wrong with my mic? Oh, I hope I haven't done this whole... Oh, no. Is it still working? Because I'm on the actual mic here. So I've got an echo. Right, has that still happened? Well, we'll find out at the end of it, won't we? So never mind. Walkman, MTB, DNB, mountain biking. I feel your pain with the knack face. Like I had a naughty crash on my bike years ago and it was very uncomfortable for a while. Had to actually get the corner of my eyelid stitched back on. I'm fortunate, man. So my partner's a physio, by the way. I didn't actually need to go to the hospital, but I would have done if I didn't have that in the house. But I feel your pain, mate. It's absolutely and utterly so painful. But you know what the mint part of this is? The fact that nothing's broken and I don't have to go to one of those fucking hospitals and risk getting COVID. I'm really buzzing about that. I fucking can't. Sorry, I said the word that rhymes with James Hunt there. I shouldn't. We're trying to get monetized. So let me breath though, God. So yeah, man, I will rise again like the North because that's what we do. Keep an eye on Bannon and Bolsonaro and all of this. There's a global fascist takeover trying to be planned, as we'll keep warning people about. And also as well, do yourselves a favor, right? Just stop watching and listening to the like shit media who are trying to like blag us. I'm talking about the BBC and others. Like, let's watch them so we can like interrogate them and whatever. But again, somebody's told us, be bolder. Watch us. Send your people 12 o'clock every day to us, because I might be sitting here with a black eye looking like a scruff, but the top and bottom of it is we'll tell the truth. Like, I can stick a suit on for you if you want, where we're sitting in here in this temporary bed sit while we wait for our next place to be ready. If you want. If it makes it, I'll put a tie around my head like some like Raj office Christmas party if you want. I'll take a picture of me arse on a photocopier and send it to your mum. But I'll not lie. We'll tell you the truth every time. And I tell you what it is, right? People who are telling us to be a bit bolder with this in what we do, all right? Like, what we do is a good fucking job. What we have is a growing community of people who give a shit, who actually want the truth too. And we need to be bolder this year, all of us, to build our institutions just like back in the day, just like our grandfathers did, like my granddad did. We need to be bold about what we're doing, and we need to stop with this like meekness. Like, meekness is not going to win a thing, and I'm not here to lose. I want to win. I want to win something in my lifetime. I do. What I win is making a contribution to when the next election comes, that we're here, all of us, and we can debunk all of the crap, because it's going to get dirty, proper dirty. It's already dirty as hell. And yeah, we do a good job at this. We do. So thank you, that person. You know who you are. And boldness is baked in for 2023. Black eyes and all. Severely sprained wrists and all. It's not broken, though. Everything. We're going to turn up every day. But now I'm going to get 3 ice packs on my body, some pain relief, and get something to eat and walk this bloody dog badly. Anyway, take some comments before we go. Thanks for letting us know my mic's fine now. Appreciated. Edwina's here. If the left in politics is a cult, then most of those on the front benches must be Marxist communists. True story, mate. What's Emily Matty saying? Stick a Muckle onesie on. I'll stick one of them onesies on with like a tuxedo. Will people take us more seriously like that? Maybe they will, because people do that. We're talking about it like in one of the episodes last week. Receive pronunciation. Like people will just believe any old shit. Listen, I'm from Gateshead. I'll always be from Gateshead, but we're telling the truth every time. If you want to help out and all that, comment, rate, and subscribe, war kids. Also, if you want to support our work directly, patreon.com/cowdaily. That's patreon.com/cowdaily. If you want to support us to be big and bold and brave and get behind the truth at all times, you can do it via Patreon. Very much appreciated, or one-off donation or work via PayPal. The link in the description. Thanks for being here today. It was a tough one to get through. I am in a lot of pain, but now it's broken. And you know what the mad thing is? I had a spinal surgery, and the only thing that doesn't hurt is me back. And that, for me, trust me, as a result, we'll get rid of this quickly, week or two, and I'm going to be fucking sound. Never want that to happen again. And just as my face met the road like a friggin' trebuchet, bang. First thing I thought after I spat blood out on the ground, because I got a hole in my mouth as well, actually, on the inside, was, not me back. I'm too beautiful for this. Leave me teeth. Nah, I'm joking, but you know, one of them things. It was a version of that. I'm too vain for this, man. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, plenty ice in the ice box for us. Catch us in a bit. Much love.